It's the Jake and Ben Show. 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 Oh. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Jake and Ben Show. Whoa, my levels were really loud there. Okay. I'm Jake, and I got Ben here with me, as always. And we got a handful of things to talk about this week. One major thing, and then maybe some small stories here and there. And I think eventually we're just gonna get to discussing some movies we've seen recently. So,
yes, we are. So we'll start off right off the bat. Deadpool 2 trailer came out, I believe, on Thursday. We didn't talk about the trailer. I just said we're gonna talk about this, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna watch this. Did you watch it?
yes.
All right. General thoughts. Well, you know what? Let's go back.
Okay.
From when we first talked about the first Deadpool, I remember that you liked it, but I think I liked it more. Am I wrong there?
No, that's probably correct.
All right. So, when you hear Deadpool 2, you hear Tim Miller is not going to be involved with it. What the other half of John Wick is directing. Are you excited for it? Are you like, we'll see?
No, I think I'm excited for it. I like the first Deadpool enough to be excited about a sequel, no matter who's behind it. I mean, Ryan Reynolds is probably the most important figure to be there, so he's there. So I'm excited for it.
All right. So you know what? Before we get right into the trailer, then there was stuff like when we recorded last week. You heard some stuff about this. I didn't feel it was important to go over. We'll quickly mention it. At least I will, and maybe you can comment on it. Is that There was some dude on Twitter who was nobody in like a film critic or any of that area. He was just a nobody. And he goes on Twitter and says, hey, I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy, and my brother's sister's roommate seen a screening of Deadpool 2, and it's the worst thing ever. So, and then you get some websites, even some high ones rolling with Deadpool 2, is it a train wreck? What's going on? And then then people come out and say, we were there, we weren't supposed to talk about it, but it was not shit. And then you get some scores come out. I believe the first few test screenings were at like a 90, a 92%. And then you hear, they're going to do reshoots. And then everybody, when they hear reshoots, say, what the fuck is the movie shit? Reshoots are a good thing. If they're massive, maybe that can be concerning, but don't judge until you see the movie. And then you hear, wait a minute, it's only 6 days. There's some secret cameo in it. And people in the screenings, they wanted more Cable and Domino, so that's what they're adding in there. And then you get these other batch of test screenings that they say happened, and it was at like a 94 and 98%. I don't care about test screenings. I haven't seen the movie. I don't care what people say about test screening. I'll wait until I see the movie. Did you have any thoughts of the past few weeks hearing any of this shit?
Well, I heard none of that. I'm hearing it for the first time, and I'm just curious how they come up with these percentages for test screenings, because I've never heard of that before. So yeah, you say 92 or 94%. How does that work? Do you know?
I have no idea, and that was I heard those numbers too, and I had the same questions. How do you come up with the number? But that's the number they had. To me, it didn't affect my excitement. Didn't increase it. Didn't decrease it. Whatever. They did a test screening. Apparently, people dug it. Hopefully, I dig it when I see it.
Yeah, that's about the same. I mean, the news that comes out from test screenings is usually the same thing, or it's never really that interesting because, I mean, it's a test screening, of course, and, there's so many factors about, if people are even being honest. Like you were making the joke about my brother's boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever, saw it and said they didn't like it. So, I don't know. I don't really put much weight into it for many reasons. Yeah. So, just hearing about it now, but still don't really.
That's why I didn't want to bring it up the past few weeks, but I figure, you know what, the trailer came out, there was a lot of hubbubaloo around it, and now we're here, we get this Deadpool 2 trailer, and I watched it with the past 2 trailers I've seen with Deadpool 2 and Infinity War. I've watched them in not the greatest way. I'll be in the middle of a class, and I see the trailer drops, and I'm like, you know what, I gotta watch this right now. I watch it, and I still can enjoy it, but it's not like, when you sit back, you watch a trailer and dissect everything. It's I quickly glance at it, then I got to wait a few hours to see it again, and I watch it. I was smiling throughout this trailer, and I was laughing. I loved it. Did you like it? Did you love it? How'd you feel?
I don't know if I loved it, but I think I really liked it. I just watched it the one time last night because I knew we were going to do this today, so I thought I'd get caught up because I was debating if I wanted to watch it for a few days or a couple days or whenever it came out. I didn't watch it right away, like because I'm not watching Infinity War, but to me, Infinity War is something a little different that, I've been following that for a lot longer, and I want all those surprises to be happening during the movie. But Deadpool I care less about, so I thought, okay, I'll watch it for this. And yeah, I don't regret watching it. I think it looks really good. It's kind of what I expected. It's got the humor. It looks big in scope, bigger than the first one, just judging from this trailer. But I'll have to see the movie, I guess, to find out for sure, because maybe all the action in the movie is in the trailer. I feel like I remember the first Deadpool being like that, where there was no really surprise set pieces because they were all at least hinted at in the trailer. I'm curious to see how this one will be. I don't know if you remember that, but I feel like because there's only like a few major fight scenes, I guess, or action scenes in the first one.
Yeah, in the first one, there wasn't that much in the movie, if you've seen it. I guess spoiler alert if you haven't, that one of the gags in it is that they didn't have the budget for guns. So you hardly got any gun action in there.
Right.
From it, you know what, I'll let you finish what you were saying, but another, I guess, behind-the-scenes thing I find interesting was back when Tim Miller exited Deadpool 2, they were saying that Tim Miller wanted to go bigger with it, and then Ryan Reynolds and the writers wanted to stay within the same kind of scope of what the first one was. And you watch this trailer, it looks much bigger, more action than the first one. So I wonder if it was the reverse of why he left. I'm happy with it. Like I said, I'll go more into what I think when you're done. I'm not going to cut your time off like I usually do.
I don't think there's any more I want to say. I don't passionately love it or passionately hate it. I'm definitely excited for it. I think this trailer makes me more excited than what I was. The scene that stands out to me was the Kill Bill-esque fight scene with all the people with the swords, if I'm remembering this correctly. I think like that thing's still in my head from everything I've seen in the trailer. But you can give your piece because I'm curious to hear what you think.
Okay. I'm on the line of where like I love everything I saw from there. I love the first Deadpool. We did a recording way back when that it's not out there, but we talked about it and I love it. I love immature humor, so it's right up my alley. And when this trailer hit, I love it. I know somebody could watch it and then you hear "Let's get our fuck on" and you're like, that just sounds ridiculous. I ate it up. I loved everything in the trailer, mostly everything. And one thing, there's a lot of things that stand out for me. But something I didn't even realize the first time, but more the second and third, is when he has the cocaine on him. And he does that LeBron, when you watch LeBron and he takes the powder, whatever it is, and does his clap. Deadpool does it with cocaine. I thought it was hilarious.
That's good.
A specific shot that stands out to me, and there's so many, is when he's on top of a car that's moving, and this guy goes to shoot him, and he puts his hand on it. Yeah. The gun fires through the hand, and then turns the gun. And even going back to what you were saying, the sword fights, which it looks like it would be in the same scene, but when he kicks the guy's head off, fucking love it. I want to see more of that. And when you watch that first one, the trailer, I should say, there were two trailers that came up before, but the first one I don't really count as a trailer. So I'll say the last
Bob Ross one.
Yeah, I don't really count that as a trailer. That's like a teaser, but it wasn't even a teaser really to the movie. It was just a piece.
Yeah.
So the last trailer that came out, you see the shot of these people, and you're like, wait a minute, is that Terry Crews? Is that is that that person? And then you see in this trailer, yeah, that's Terry Crews. And was that Bill Skarsgård? It was one of the Skarsgård in the background. And how do you hide that you get these people in there?
Wait, the scene where Terry Crews is in it, Bill Skarsgård is in the background?
In the plane that they're in. I believe it's Bill Skarsgård. Bill Skarsgård is the one who plays Pennywise in it, right?
Yeah, one of the Skarsgårds plays
Was that
Pennywise
Alexander Skarsgård? It's a Skarsgård.
No, I think it's, I'll fact check it real quick, but you keep going.
Yeah, so you see in the background on the plane, there he is, and I think how'd you hide this so well? And seeing more of what with this trailer, what I like about this one in Infinity War is that they give you motivations, they give you some story, but it doesn't look like they give it all to you. I don't feel like I've seen a big spoiler. And I love the immature humor. And if I want to go into lines, which I should have wrote down lines that I love, but when Deadpool says, you're smarter than I look, I love it. I don't want to suck it too hard, Deadpool, but my hype is there. To me, I think there's no better movie to come out after Infinity War, because Infinity War, it's going to be such a huge spectacle, and to come down to Deadpool, get me charged right back up. I think it's a perfect movie to come after Infinity War. I'm not sure if I'm the only one who thinks like that, but I'm really excited. My hype for Infinity War, it's an overdrive, but Deadpool is getting there. It's not going to be Infinity War levels, but it's getting up there.
Yeah,
I cannot wait for this movie.
I think it's good that it comes out after Infinity War and not before Infinity War, because a lot of it is probably going to parody like the superhero genre, and I thought it was funny. Deadpool came out like right before Batman v Superman, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it came out in February, Valentine's Day of 2016, and then BVS came out a month after. It was March 16th, I believe.
Something like that, yeah. And Deadpool made fun of the superhero landing, and then Batman v Superman did the superhero landing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it put Batman v Superman into a whole new perspective, which, so it's probably best that Deadpool 2 comes after Infinity
I wouldn't be
War.
surprised if we get some type of Josh Brolin Thanos joke in there.
Oh, we'd probably. Well, I mean, in the
I assume so.
Meet Cable
The Meet
trailer
Cable one,
teaser thing.
Yeah,
We had I have the stones to help you or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, which was an offhanded reference to the Infinity Stones, I assume. Even though he puts his testicles in his face. Yeah, Bill Skarsgård played Pennywise. And I was just scrolling through the Deadpool 2 IMDb page to look for him. But another question came up while I was looking at it. It used to be called the Untitled Deadpool sequel. And I thought that's what they were going to go with for the title. And I saw a lot of people online saying that. But it has now been changed to Deadpool 2.
Yeah, I've seen Deadpool 2. Now I think they're just going to go with Deadpool 2.
That's lame. If they should have went with Untitled Deadpool sequel. That would have been... They missed a perfect opportunity. That would have been incredible. I was excited for that.
To me, I wouldn't care if that was the case. I think if there's just an average person out there who doesn't know anything about Deadpool or superhero movies and sees that thing and be like, what the fuck is this?
Well, I mean, Deadpool... There's so many jokes in the movie that if people don't care about superhero movies, they're gonna say, "What the fuck is this?" Even the first one has that stuff. Or if you're not in
but
the
if
loop,
if you go with Deadpool 2 and somebody's like, there's a Deadpool 2, let me go check this out, and then post a untitled Deadpool sequel.
No,
what?
I don't give a shit about them. I think that'd be fucking perfect. I'm disappointed that they do.
Another thing to point out that I thought was hilarious when the title card comes up from the studio that brought you. I forget what the first movie is.
27 Dresses, I believe.
Yeah, and then The Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah.
What other movie could do that? I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, that was great. I wonder how many people thought like who are fans of those two movies and just thought, oh yeah, this is just usual marketing stuff. I feel bad for the people that completely missed the joke.
I feel like that's such an obvious joke, but I'm sure there's somebody out there who took it serious.
Oh, guaranteed. I think that's funny. All right. Is that enough?
Well, you know what?
Deadpool
Yeah.
2,
I'm sure there's once we end this, I'm going to think of so many things I wanted to talk about this trailer. One thing I'll post to you then is that you hear this is your first time hearing it then, of a secret cameo, this big cameo that's going to be in there that they filmed recently. Who do you think this could be, if you were to guess? Which I don't want to get too much into it, because what if you guess the right thing and then you see it and then it might not mean as much.
That's okay. My guess will be an unconfident guess, because I didn't hear about this cameo until you just mentioned it earlier in this conversation. But if you haven't put me on the spot and made me guess who this cameo is, I feel like the name that comes to mind is Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, I gotta think Hugh Jackman, but as Hugh Jackman will be in there.
Yeah, I think Yeah, that's interesting because it's Hugh Jackman as Wolverine or Hugh Jackman as Hugh Jackman. I hope
I think
it's Hugh Jackman as Hugh Jackman. Yeah, that'd be
Especially because
awesome.
you set up in the first one that Hugh Jackman is a part of their universe.
Yeah, because yeah. You have the magazine with his face on
The
it,
world's
and
sexiest man.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I think it was like in the beginning of the movie, you see the magazine, and then at the end, he has the cutout on his face.
yeah. Oh, that'd be great. I'm sure that's what it is, right? But
I gotta think that's what it is.
I feel like that's something they would have filmed already. Like, I feel like from the get-go, they should have had Hugh Jackman as Hugh Jackman in it.
Well, I think there's probably gonna be a many cameos that you may take a few times to watch and be like, oh, that's there, that's here. So
Yeah.
I would think if you are filming this movie that let's go get Hugh Jackman as Hugh Jackman in this. Maybe you get Charles Xavier in there, Professor X. You do see that quick shot of Deadpool in the Professor X's chair.
That's true.
And you know what? And one other thing that I thought when he says the X Force and then he puts up that X, I've seen a lot of people do the Wakanda Forever thing from that. But then the first thing I think of is Wonder Woman and then the Wakanda Forever. And I'm not sure if they went for a reference with that, but I haven't really heard a lot of people think of Wonder Woman with that.
I couldn't imagine
personally,
that
my
would be
mind goes to
a
Wonder Woman
Black
first
Panther
before.
reference, just because the scheduling and the timing doesn't really work for that to be a Wakanda Forever reference.
Hey, maybe that was part of the 6-day reshoot. I mean, probably
Maybe,
not, but you
like,
never know.
of all things to do in the 6-day reshoot, like, it's a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah, well, I think so too, but you never know. My mind goes to Wonder Woman for that, but
Yeah.
I've heard mostly people go to. And another thing, there's a lot of things I love with the X-Men. It looks like X-Men little jerseys they got with the X on it. Could be X-Force, but I assume X-Men.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what? I could blow this trailer for this entire time, but we got to move on. So we're going to move on to something I guess could be a bit more serious, not as fun. And it could be fun. We'll see where we go with this. Steven Spielberg, you like him?
Yeah.
Do you like Netflix?
Yeah.
Do you think Netflix movies should be up for the conversation for Oscars if it's a great movie?
Yeah.
Well, Steven Spielberg does not think so. Now, I will put a disclaimer out as we go into this, is that there is more to this story. There's more quotes to it. I'm going to present you half of the story because I could not find the other half.
Okay. I know a little bit of the story already. I heard about it yesterday. But
All right,
if you want to go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with some quotes, and then I'll hand it off to you. I'm going to assume you know a bit more about it than I do. So, Steven Spielberg does not think Netflix movies should be considered for Oscars. And some of these quotes that are here are, once you commit to a television format, you're a TV movie. A good show might deserve an Emmy, but not an Oscar. And then he goes on to say, I don't believe films that are just given a token qualifications in a couple of theaters for less than a week should qualify for the Academy Award nomination. I was looking for the other half of the quotes. I couldn't find it. And there's an interview. Maybe I could have done my part and watch it. I'll hand it off to you.
Okay. A couple things to unpack here, I think. When a TV network makes a movie that is strictly for that network, strictly for TV, it does qualify for Emmys, not Oscars. But I think times are changing, and the way movies are made, you know, they've changed, I guess, where when you make a movie and say it gets picked up for distribution or it goes to Netflix, you still made the movie the exact same way. You didn't know its distribution plans while you were making it. It just happened to be that way after it was made. So, you know, a movie gets bought by Netflix or a movie gets bought by, you know, Lionsgate or whatever, I don't know, to put it in theaters. It's the process of making the film is the same. The quality of film is the same. So I think especially now, streaming to me is the future of movies. And I think eventually down the road, streaming is just going to take over the movie theater industry, and that's everything is going to come from streaming. And I think maybe Spielberg is afraid of that, maybe. But I think definitely streaming is going to be, I think they're going to change that theater rule for the Oscars eventually. And all these movies that are streamed are going to qualify. So also, like, just saying all that, thinking about Netflix isn't a traditional TV network. It's not, you can't watch Netflix by paying your cable every month. That's not where it is. You're paying a separate fee to stream the movies. It's not on satellite or cable or anything like traditional TV movies. It's just the future is here, and it's just kind of, unsettling the force, I guess. But, I think Netflix movies should qualify, and I think that's that. Times are changing, Ben.
They are changing, and I don't want to be quick to say, Steven Spielberg, it's just, he's an old man stuck in his ways. But when I first heard the story, that's where my mind goes to, and you hear some of his points, and it's the thing where I'm going to not make sense when you're listening to this. It may make sense if you know the whole story, is that I heard the whole story like 2 days ago, I think, and for some of his stuff he was saying, I guess sure it can make sense, but times are changing, like you said, and streaming, yeah, it is the way of the future. So why run from it? Who can, like, if it's HBO, if it's Showtime, if they make a movie for television, they've made it for television. And I guess you can get lost in, well, then what's truly television? Because I got a TV, then just because I have a TV, I watch a movie on there, this is a television movie. That may sound ridiculous, but the word television itself, that's a discussion there. A streaming service like Netflix, for a movie, okay, take a movie like Bright. Maybe I didn't like it, or even Mudbound. I haven't watched it. I should. So my part, why I should. I pay for Netflix. Why haven't I watched it? It was nominated for a few stuff in the Oscars. I think song, actress, possibly even script.
Cinematography is a big one because it was the first woman.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, that also. So I'll go, before I go into that, why should a movie like a Mudbound that got a limited release a week or two, if it's a great movie and it was made as a movie, why should that not be recognized in the Academy Awards? Why shouldn't it? It was made just like Ready Player One. It was made just like The Post. Why shouldn't it be recognized? It's great. You look at the movie theaters. There's shit movies in the movie theaters. There's shit movies on Netflix. There's great movies in the movie theaters. There's not an abundance of great movies on streaming services, but we're going to get there one day. And there are a few. So why shouldn't they be recognized? If it was from HBO, okay, then you got your Emmys. That is a television. I can understand, yeah, if it's HBO Showtime, they've made it for television. You're not going to see it on a streaming service. You're not going to see it in a movie theater. Okay. Well, even Game of Thrones. You can see Game of Thrones in the movie theater. That shit's cinematic. And, you got your Emmys because television. I feel there's a lot I want to say here, but I'm going to try to have a through line through this. With movie, like, okay, if you're somebody, and especially you don't hear as much now, but some directors, artists get shit on for going to a Netflix, but why should they? If they have a movie or just an idea that is not going to get greenlit by a major company, they're going to greenlight it. If they're not going to get any time in a movie theater, why should they be punished for going to someone like Netflix? And they're going to put it out there. Why should they be punished? Because a movie theater wouldn't put their movie out. Well, I'm not a movie theater. A production company, a distributor, they're not going to put it out. Why should somebody on Netflix be punished? Why?
You're not arguing with me. Yeah. I'm on your side.
I don't mean it as if I'm attacking him. I'm asking a question.
I feel the passion.
Yeah. Well, it's ridiculous because all right, we're in a time where a lot of smaller movies, sometimes they don't make a lot of money. Sometimes they do. But you get big budget movies out there, people go for it, and the little movie, it'll fail sometimes. if it's going to fail, and there's a place for it to go where it's not going to fail, but it is great quality that could potentially be up for an Academy Award. You're telling me that let it just fail in a movie theater. Who gives a fuck if it's great or not? Just let it fail. And the place where it could be successful, forget about it, because that's on streaming. Why? You have an option there. You look at a guy like Martin Scorsese, who, a great filmmaker, is one of my favorite directors. Silence didn't do that well in theaters. So, he has this idea, and studios don't want to go with it. The Irishman. He's getting guys like Bobby De Niro, you get Pacino, you get Joe Pesci, and they're doing this de-aging, make them look young, but no studio wants to go for it. All right, so you look at Netflix. They'll go for it. They'll pay the money. And yeah, they'll probably have a week or two in theaters. If it's great, why shouldn't it be recognized? He went to a place that wants him. He presented it to people that did not want it, and now you got a company that does. And it will have a week or so in theaters. And for Oscar movies, depending where you live, you won't have the chance to go see those in theaters. So if you made a killer movie, it's you put it out early in December, where am I going to go see these movies? I'm already having a hard enough time to watch them now. If you're going to put it on Netflix and I can see it in December, sure, fantastic, because now I don't have to go hike hours just to go see your Oscar movie because it's only released in a limited release. And even when it goes wide, how wide is it? It's not that wide. So you get where I'm coming from? Am I making sense here?
Oh, you're making sense. No, I'm just listening attentively here. Definitely agree with you for sure, and I can tell you're quite passionate about it. But I'm on your side. I'm Team Ben with this one.
Woo! How many times are you on Team Ben? This means a lot. I like it.
Very rarely. I think even this episode, I think this will probably be the only time Team Ben. Especially with what we got coming up at the end. Yeah.
Yeah. If you listen to the end, it might be a divide. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot to unpack here, and even Cannes Film Festival. There was this specific thing, a French something. I don't know. Whatever. It's a film festival. Yeah, there you go. They ban Netflix movies from there. Are you serious?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah.
What?
Cannes Film Festival. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah.
Get the stick out of your ass. It's a fucking movie.
Okay, here we are.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm sounding like an idiot. Maybe there's somebody out there who disagrees. Just let me know. I want to know why. Give me a reason why I should, I should think, yeah, ban Netflix from going to these film festivals. Yeah, Netflix shouldn't be. Tell me why. I just don't get it. It's made, like you said, it's made like any other motion picture, so why shouldn't it be recognized?
Yeah, that'd be nice. So if someone wants to let us know, drop us a comment or whatever, or tweet us or, on our Facebook, and we'll respond to that next week, because I'm curious to see if anyone does have a defense, can take Team Spielberg or whatever, and I'm curious to hear that. And then maybe we can argue our points again, defend ourselves, but I'm curious to see if anyone has other thoughts on this. To me, it's just like, it's for someone to think to be Team Spielberg and not Team Ben is just a little ignorant, and maybe just it almost seems like they're just unaware of change, or they're scared to change. Because honestly, I think streaming's the future, so I think you just have to accept it and let those movies be up for the same awards and praise that fucking movie theater movies are up for. But
yeah, and again, streaming will be the way of the future. But as of now, which I already mentioned on it, but you got these big blockbuster movies out there, and then you got the little man who won't get the support, so you have somebody that supports them. It's just helping. It's helping everybody. It's not taking away. If you want to go with the Spielberg approach, you're taking away from the small filmmaker who won't get his movie greenlit. You're taking away. Yeah, his or her. Yeah, yeah. I'm charged up now. I'm not thinking. So, you're taking away. You're taking away from him or her or whoever. You're taking away. If you have these options, it's inclusive for everybody. Everybody's going to win from this. You could have a shit movie that would bomb in movie theaters, but if it's on Netflix and it's shit, you're not going to suffer from it. So, I mean, that's where I stand.
Yeah, okay. Before you have a heart attack, maybe we should move on now?
Yeah, all right. Let's move on. This is something that might give me a heart attack. I don't know where I stand on this. I mentioned to you that there was something I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
And I haven't told you what it is, so I'm going to surprise you.
Oh,
and
yes,
before
I'm
I surprise
excited.
you, I even mentioned to you, I kind of wanted to bring it up the past few weeks. I just didn't know how.
Okay.
And I think I can now because this thing released a official trailer. They were putting out clips, teasers. There's an official trailer now. And it's a series that's going to be on YouTube Red, and it's of a franchise that is near and dear to my heart. Now, we mostly go talk about movies, and this is a television series. Now, what makes it important to movies is that it is a spin-off to a movie franchise, Karate Kid. Now, when I think to my youth, and I take away sci-fi, fantasy, I take away those movies. And just, you get your John Hughes, Breakfast Club, Pretty Pink. You get, for me, Rocky and Karate Kid. Aside from like a Star Wars, fantasy, all those type, sci-fi movies, the other ones that were my favorites growing up were those three and more. There are more out there. So I love Karate Kid. I even really like Karate Kid 2. I can watch Karate Kid 3, but I know it's a shit movie. Then they announced, all right, they're going to do a sequel to the franchise. And it's going to be a TV series on YouTube Red. It's called Cobra Kai. And you're like, wait a minute. Huh? So I see these teasers. I'm like, oh, okay. And you watch this official trailer. And maybe I should have watched it again to talk more about it. Because, like, if you've listened to any of our previous stuff, I tend to, like, be in the middle of what I'm trying to say. I do, like, there's sometimes, I don't know. I'm in the middle. With this, I'm in the middle. Nostalgia alone is why I'm going to watch this. What the fuck's a YouTube Red? I don't know. But I'm going to get it.
I don't think it's in Canada.
It's not? Well, then fuck me. How am I supposed to watch Cobra Kai?
It's just when YouTube Red came out, I couldn't get it because it wasn't in Canada. I don't know if it is now, but last I checked, it wasn't. So
okay, there. You're already presenting something. If you're going to release a TV series, and I just kind of smacked my desk enough that picked up. Not sure if that picked up, but if you're going to release a TV series of a big franchise, I would say it's not huge, but it's it's a franchise that's known. Are you going to limit it to come on? I want to watch this. Give it to me. But even though I want to watch this, I don't get it. I get it and I don't get it. I'm watching this trailer and I'm like, yo, this is the reversal of the Karate Kid. Daniel LaRusso, the good kid, the good guy. He's a fucking prick now. This guy's a prick. And this is going to take away my cred. I believe the other guy's name was Jonathan? Wow, that's going to take away my cred right there. Let me fucking fact check this. But anyways, it's the reversal of Miyagi and LaRusso. There's this, he's all drunk. And the way, I'll give the trailer one thing, is that they start off with, I think it was like 34 years ago, and they show LaRusso getting him with the crane kick, and then he's down on the ground. And then they cut to him as a drunk on the floor, and now he's much older. And he's a superintendent, much like in the first Karate Kid with Miyagi and LaRusso. It honestly looks like, okay, we're gonna take LaRusso and Daniel, we're gonna flip it, and you get this guy. I believe his name is Jonathan. I'll look it up, see, maybe I'm wrong. And it starts off. They show this kid, and he's getting beat up by a bunch of people, and he comes out, and this kid gets thrown into a car. And he's like, yo, watch the car. And this kid start fucking with him. And, of course, this guy's a badass. So he kicks all their ass. And this kid's like, yo, teach me. And it's the same, not the same. I don't want to say, like, same shit. And when I mean same shit, I'm not saying the movie. I love Karate Kid. So I'm not calling it Karate Kid shit. But it looks like the same shit. And he opens up Cobra Kai. And LaRusso's like, yo, what the fuck's this shit? Why are you opening this up? Fuck you, man. And then he goes on to say, yo, you and me, we're not done. And it's like, yo, come on. He's trying to, this guy's helping kids now. He's opened up this place for kids. Yeah, Johnny, not Jonathan, Johnny. All right. So Johnny, he's just unsuccessful. He was the high school kid who was popular and crashed and burned. That was his glory days. And LaRusso now, he owns this car dealership. He's not just a car salesman. He owns the place. It's LaRusso's fucking something. And I know I'm cursing a lot here, but this trailer, I don't know what to think of it. So I'm watching this, and man, this looks goofy as hell. And it's like classified as like a comedy and a drama. And it's like, Karate Kid had funny moments, but it's not a comedy. So are we making fun of it? What are we doing here?
It's a YouTube Red series, so it probably has no idea what it's doing. It's probably bad.
Yeah, that's what I assume. When they said it was a YouTube Red series, I'm like, there's no way this shit's gonna be good. but you're getting me because of nostalgia. And you got LaRusso there. You got Johnny Boy. Yeah, I'm going to be back. And LaRusso, he's got kids now. And Johnny's training this kid. And there's bullies. People are messing with the kid. And there's going to be a fight like in the Karate Kid. But then they end this trailer with LaRusso. He's getting his gear back on. And he goes to Johnny and say, "Yo, you and me, this isn't over." But, like, why isn't this over? You guys ended this. You guys had admiration for each other at the end. What? Why? Are you just pissed at him because he's opened up Cobra Kai? Why? What's your issue, dude?
This has been a passionate episode for Ben.
Yeah, well, the past two, there might not be enough passion by the time we end this, but I don't know. Were you a fan of the Karate Kid?
I've only seen the Jaden Smith one.
Oh, my. So you haven't seen the Orig?
No, I've only seen the Jaden Smith one.
You got to see the Orig.
Okay.
That holds a special place in my heart.
Eventually, before I die, I'll try and watch it.
Yeah, you have to watch Karate Kid and then 2.
Okay.
You can stay away from 3. It's stay away.
I've received a metaphorical letter on my desk which says you can purchase YouTube Red content individually, but you can't subscribe to it.
Okay.
So.
Then I did that because I don't want to subscribe and then have to cancel. I'll just when Cobra Kai comes out, and it comes out Canada. May, I believe, May 20 something. May 20 something. So it's gonna come out. I'm gonna watch this, and it looks. I assume this is gonna be a pile of steaming shit, but nostalgia alone, I'm gonna be there.
I'm curious.
I don't know how to feel about it. Because you're taking my man LaRusso, and he's a fucking prick.
I've never heard someone so passionate about Karate Kid.
Yeah, I'm sure there's gonna be more people out there that's more passionate. I fucking forget Johnny's name. I thought he was Jonathan.
Whatever.
I got the John part right.
Same thing.
Dick. And Johnny, he was supposed to be the dick. He was the asshole. Why is he Miyagi now? Why is fucking LaRusso Johnny?
What you're saying.
What's
Who did
going
Jaden
on?
Smith play? Where's Jaden Smith? Is he canon?
Jaden Smith, get him out of here. Get him out of here. Yeah, no Jaden Smith. Jaden Smith. So yeah, okay. I mean, it's a spinoff to Karate Kid, and there we go. Where it's gonna come out in May.
Not gonna lie,
I'm
gonna be honest with you, Ben. When you told me there's something you haven't told me, and you said you had it for a few weeks, I was hoping for something a little more than a YouTube Red series, but I mean, we got a good bit out of it from you, passionately splurging all over Karate Kid, and that's worth it.
Yeah. I didn't want to get you too excited when I said there's something I wanted to bring up.
That's right.
Yeah, I didn't want to tell you. I
wish I could offer more, but I've only seen the Jaden Smith one, and I had no clue about this.
You know what? We could if I'll present this to you. Okay. You can tell me to fuck off.
Okay, fuck off.
You can wait to tell me to fuck off. You will wait. You can tell me after I present this.
All right, go ahead.
Like with Solo, you watch Solo while we were recording. Do you want to watch the Cobra Kai trailer right now? You could do it, and I think you'll be able to still have enjoyment for the trailer without seeing. Okay, all right. So let's move on to something else. All right.
I think I'll watch it. I won't be able to offer anything.
But that's the thing. You will that you will not have needed to see in Karate Kid or 2 or any of them. If you watch this trailer, you will be able to offer something because of what it's showing you. You're like, what the fuck's going on here? That's how you'd be able to add stuff. But we don't have to go into it. Well, maybe next week.
Yeah, okay, maybe next week.
All right, yeah.
Because I'm excited. I'm just excited to talk about Love, Simon.
Well, we can't get to it yet. You know why?
Yeah, when we get to it, I'm excited. Go ahead with what you want to do.
See, I'm not so excited, but I seen a movie yesterday. It's called Pacific Rim Uprising. I haven't seen the first one. I'll put that out there.
What? Really?
Yeah, I haven't seen the first one. Yeah, I was like, hey, maybe I'll get to it before I see Uprising. I never got to it. I'll say this. I enjoyed the movie. I think, for what I thought of Tomb Raider, I thought Tomb Raider rode the line of okay and good. I thought Pacific Rim did that. It's a better version of Transformers, in my opinion. It's
a low bar.
It is a low bar, but, I mean, it's a bar nonetheless.
Yeah, that's fair.
I heard a YouTuber say this. I'll give him credit for this, John Campia. I was listening to him talk about it, and more so on John Boyega. and I totally agree with what he said. He said that John Boyega he's got like The Rock charisma, and totally agree with that. John Boyega, he's just a joy to watch. So even when there was bad points in this movie, just John Boyega just brought it up because he's John Boyega. He's got the charisma, and he's good. The movie, I don't think you're gonna get a lot out of it. If you love the first one, maybe we'll be able to dig some stuff. Like there were certain characters in there that I knew were from the first one, but I didn't care for something. Like I didn't know why I should care because I haven't seen the first one. There's a twist in the middle of it. I enjoyed it, but I think if I had seen the first one, I would have enjoyed it much more, just knowing context behind certain things. The mostly what you see in the trailers is the third act. You don't see a lot of the first and second. It's John Boyega. He's a killer pilot. He's the son of Idris Elba from the first one, and the thing is he doesn't want to be a part of it. He's on his own, and for circumstances he's brought back into it, and shit happens. A lot of shit happens, and then there's fights, and then there's more fights, and then you're like, whoa, these are giant robots. Wow. I would say go check it out if you like the first one. I wouldn't say rush to see it. I would give it like a 6.5.
Okay.
I dug it for what it was. So are you planning on seeing it?
Yeah, I think I will see it. I'm curious about the twist in the middle because I have seen the first one. I think the first one's quite good, but that's Guillermo del Toro, and I think he's a really talented director. I mean, the trailers for this new one have kind of looked bad for the most part. It looks it looks like just like Transformers. It looks kind of dumb, but I'll probably check it out.
You know what? One of the things that, in my opinion, I think it's not a well-edited film. There's points in it where there's certain cuts that I'm like, I spent like 5 minutes thinking, why did they make this cut here during this one part? And it totally took me out of it. I'm curious to see if you think the same. I don't think it was a well-edited film.
Okay.
That's one of my bigger criticisms of it.
Sure.
I think there's some performances that lack. There's some motivations that are like, okay, whatever. But overall, I enjoyed it for what it was.
Okay.
And I'm looking forward
also,
to
when you're talking there, I had Facebook open on my computer and I didn't know that with the speakers up, and it made a little Facebook boom noise, so I apologize for that. I'm not going to edit it out because I'm not.
Yeah, we're natural. Let's go with it.
All right. Yeah, I'll watch Pacific Rim. I like to see like his everything, so I'll probably watch it. Everything but Peter Rabbit. So.
Okay. Yeah. I haven't seen Peter Rabbit, nor do I have interest to see it. Other than they got a good cast.
I know. I
got
debated
Daisy Ridley,
seeing
Margot
it just
Robbie,
over
Donald Gleason.
It's got a great cast. I debated seeing it just for that stupid outraged, all those people that were outraged over the allergy joke where they killed the guy.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh, you didn't hear about
What's
that?
No.
The one dude has a food. The villain Donald Gleason has an allergic. He's allergic to something or other, and the rabbits use his allergy against him, and they give him the food or whatever to kill him or to make him sick. And people were pissed because they thought it was making fun of people who are allergic to things.
You know what?
There's this whole story.
You saying that just made me totally think of a line from the Deadpool 2 trailer, and I'm gonna butcher it. But when Deadpool walks in and he's like, I took all the gluten in the world and threw it into space or something. That, I butchered it, but in context, I think it's hilarious. Just you saying that made me think of it. Because everybody now apparently they got gluten allergies, when really, if you look at statistics, it's a small majority of people in the world that are actually allergic to gluten.
I know.
I thought it was hilarious.
I know. That was funny, yeah. Okay, anyways, we should get back on topic. I just wanted to mention that stupid Peter Rabbit thing because we haven't talked about that yet. Fuck, that was crazy. And yeah.
All right, well, we can get into... We got one more thing before Love, Simon, so we're going to tease Love, Simon here. Okay. Tomb Raider. I want to clarify something because when you saw it, you had texted me, and there was a bit of confusion from what I had talked about last week. I think where the confusion lied is that you thought that I had... And maybe I did. I could have said it this way, is that the plot twist comes in the post-credit scene. Clarification, I did not mean that. What I had meant for the post-credit scene was that the post-credit scene itself did not feel like a post-credit scene. It just felt like an after-title scene because there were no credits before the scene. So to clarify that is what I meant was the twist and the post-credit scene. I meant those are two different things I was talking about. So I'm not sure if I kind of interweave them to make it seem like one. So
Yeah.
that's my clarification out there.
Okay. Yeah. I got it after, you called me and explained it. I thought Tomb Raider was great.
Okay.
I honestly
what about it made you think like, oh, this is a great movie?
Okay, let me think, because it's been a while. I had a week ago or whatever. So
I enjoyed it myself. Not to say I didn't. I did enjoy it.
I thought there was a surprising amount of heart to the movie, and on a surface level entertainment, the action I thought it was all great. It was all really convincing. Alicia Vikander is really good as Lara Croft. The guy who plays her dad was great. I thought Walter Goggins was good as his villain. I think there was much to the villain, but I thought he did a great performance. But beyond that, there was an incredible amount of heart and themes about family and work. I can't remember too in-depthly, but I remember watching it thinking this is smarter than it needs to be, and it was more touching than I ever expected it to be. And for a video game movie especially, I think it is the first legitimately good to great video game movie there is. I'm set at 7.5. I think it's really good, and I was impressed. I couldn't believe how impressed I was. There were things, of course, that bothered me, but overall, I couldn't believe that I enjoyed it as much as I did.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's good to hear. One of the things I like to, the way I look at film is because it's all subjective, is that, if I did enjoy it, but for a movie I didn't enjoy, like A Wrinkle in Time, I didn't enjoy it. I have a friend who did. To me, that's nice to hear that, even though I couldn't enjoy it, someone could. So even though I liked it, to hear you thought it was a borderline great movie, it's nice to hear that. Which, I guess if we're to shift in,
I did have more things to say. I remember when seeing it, there were some things I wanted to mention to you. But
all right, yeah,
honestly, I'm kind of drawing a blank on it just because I didn't.
Well, I guess
should have wrote it down or something.
Well, one thing I guess we could mention is that I said how this is the greatest twist in cinematic history, which not really. Just thought it was convenient.
I was kind of indifferent towards it.
We can, I guess, say spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, just so we can mention it. I thought it was such an afterthought. For the people who wrote it, it just seemed like an afterthought. Like, oh wait, we could do this. Let's do it. That's what it seemed like to me.
I get that for sure. I get that for sure.
Walter Goggins saying we're everywhere, and you get little pictures of this and that, and then she has these flashbacks, and it just seemed like they wrote the movie and they're like, wait, we should probably put a twist in there, and they're like, wait, we said this, so yeah, there's the twist. So I thought it was so ridiculous that I ended up enjoying it.
Maybe, see, I didn't think it was to the point that ridiculous that I ironically enjoyed it, but it also I was like, okay, that's a thing. I think the movie before it works so well that it didn't bother me that much, but to each his own.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
All
Before
right,
we move on,
Love, Simon.
I'll give you I'll give you 5 seconds to think of one thing. If not, we can move on to it.
Okay. Can't think of anything.
All right. We'll move on to Love, Simon. Now, to set this up, I talked about it last week. I had seen it. It's probably close to 2 weeks now, I think. I love the movie. I think I gave it a 9. I thought it was heartfelt. I thought it was funny. It was everything that I was looking for. And I got a text from you, and can't wait to argue about Love, Simon with you. I'm curious because I thought it was such just a heartwarming film that even if somebody didn't love it as much as I did, that it's just a heartwarming film that you got to get enjoyment out of it. So I'm curious to hear where this goes.
Okay, it's not all bad. I'm lukewarm to negative on it, but it's not all bad. I think it sticks to the ending, which is incredibly important. I think it ends really well. I don't want to spoil anything because I don't think we should. Oh, well, actually, you know what? Maybe we should. Let's spoil things, okay?
Yeah,
we're spoiling Tomb Raider and we're spoiling I love
Love
Simon.
Simon.
They've been out for a week, so whatever.
Yeah,
You're seeing
a week
Pacific
and a
Rim
half-ish.
anyways.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
we'll put it out there. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. Form your own opinion, and now we're going to go balls deep on it, which that seems like a weird thing to say considering the subject material, but let's go for it. That was not planned. It just...
Okay,
yeah.
no, that was clever. Okay, yeah, it ends really well. I'll give it that. But that's about where my praise ends. I think the main kid, I don't know who plays Simon's really good.
Nick Robertson, I believe.
Yeah, but holy shit, this movie is, god damn it, it's all over the place. I think I'm trying to I can't think of specifics right now, but I'm trying to, before I go into specifics, think of buzzwords to say, but I can't. So let's go into specifics. First, it's incredibly predictable. All the twists of, oh, that's okay. There's one thing that I didn't predict: the whole Blue being that guy who he originally thought was Blue at the end.
I'll put this out there is that I had a very good hunch of why it was going to be him, because he plays Wally West on The Flash and now Legends of Tomorrow. Greg Berlanti directed it, who is creator of all the shows on CW, and to me, I thought, why is he going to cast Wally West if it's not going to be for something significant?
See, I didn't know that.
And knowing the actor, I believe his name is Keenan Longstill. I could have butchered that. I know him as Wally West. And knowing him as a person, he recently came out as bisexual. And just considering, I just looked at it as that from the director, certain cast members, of knowing the people before the movie, that I had hunches.
No idea. So
that's why for me, that's why I...
honestly,
had a good hunch.
Had I known that, I probably would have liked this movie less, because then the one thing that surprised me would have not been surprising anymore. But let me get into some specifics. There's the every time, oh, that's not Blue, felt so obvious. So a lot of this movie is like dragging you along, like, who's Blue? Who is he? And then they'll introduce a male character, and it's like, oh, he's Blue, and the movie legitimately expects you to think he's Blue based on no evidence. They'll just look at each other and they'll say, oh, he's Blue. Like the guy from the diner, they just look at each other. I'm like, no, it's not Blue. And then
not to
it
cut
happens.
you off, but I'll tell you why that worked for me. Is I put myself in, if I were gay, what would this be like? And it made me think, all right, if I am a gay, just gay, and I'm closeted, I don't want this to come out, but I do want a relationship, I want this to come out on my own time, and then you have this connection with somebody, and then you see these males who you want to think this is the person, but you can't just outright say it, because what if he's a straight male? What's going to happen? So for me, it worked.
I get that in the character's head, but I don't get that for the way the film presents that. Like I get, like, when you explain, like, yeah, it's the closeted gay man. He wants this to be true, but the movie does. I don't feel it does it like that. Yeah, but I get where you're coming from, so I don't hold it against you for buying it. But just like it did it a few times where, oh, it's not, this isn't Blue, it's this guy, and then there was that. Also, there's the scene on the football. This is kind of just like, this scene sums up how this scene was handled, sums up kind of the whole movie for me. The scene where the kid from Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse and The Walking Dead, I'm pretty sure he's in both those. What's that kid called? His name is... He's the one...
don't remember.
He's the guy who, spoils... Who makes
the bumbling...
that he's gay.
I would consider him as like a bumbling idiot.
Yeah, he's probably like the antagonist of the movie besides the villain.
Yeah,
he sets it in motion. Anyways, it's really weird how they handle him, because, he's a complete asshole, and they kind of ask you to sympathize with him by the end, but just like, fuck that guy. And anyways, this gets into the scene at the football stadium where he's confessing his love for the one character. I forget her name, but honestly, I forget everyone's name except for Simon. He's confessing his love, and the way that they handle this scene is a big, beautiful moment. The music is swelling, and it's not for humor. The music isn't swelling because it's ironic. It's legitimately swelling because they want you to feel the emotion. And I was just watching the scene like, no fucking way she buys this shit. You're playing it like you might think You're playing it like the audience is going to be questioning if she buys it, but no fucking way she buys it. And then she doesn't buy it. Music cuts out. Yeah, no shit. That's how this whole movie plays out. It teases you like, oh, what's going to happen? And it's like, yeah, no, that was obvious from the beginning. And watching that scene, I couldn't help but think, I don't think they planned on this being this big moment when they shot it. Because if you strip away the music from that scene, it becomes really uncomfortable. And I think legitimately funny, because you're like, you don't like this guy, fuck this guy, he doesn't deserve anything, he shouldn't win this girl. And that scene would play out a lot more, against that character if you just cut out the music and stop playing it for the emotion that you're playing it for. And that scene pissed me off because fuck that character.
I took in that scene totally different, personally. I didn't look at it as this is a big emotional moment in it. I'd seen it the Thursday that it released, and it was a pretty packed crowd that I seen it, and I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but for me and the people in the audience, it was not like an emotional moment. It was more not so much comedic, but it was like funny and somewhat not uncomfortable, but it's like, man, don't do this, don't do that. But even though you're like, yeah, do it, because this shit ain't gonna work out for you.
Yeah, it was just felt like they were like teasing, like, what's gonna happen? Is she gonna do it? A lot of it felt like they're building the suspense, like, what's gonna happen? Is she gonna fall for him? Just like the way the music played, I don't know. There's something about it that really irked me, and a lot of the movie felt like that, where it's just like, kind of, it expects you to be questioning things, but really all the answers are obvious. And like that's just one thing that bothered me. I can go into other things I don't like if you want to keep going.
Well, maybe not so much like every little thing, but like a more summation just of everything.
Yeah, well, I guess it was fair to go into depth because that kind of scene just like summed up how I felt about the whole movie. But I thought, okay, look, I don't know what it's like to be gay, closeted gay, or come out as gay. So it's almost unfair to criticize a lot of the moments that felt unnatural like that because I haven't lived it. However, the way
not to cut you off, but
go ahead.
I can somewhat guess where this is going into. Again, for background of this movie for me is, I haven't been in that position, but the background of it is that Greg Berlanti is a gay man. If you watch the whole credits, Colton Hayes is credited as just to help with some of the stuff. Who was also was a closeted gay man who recently came out maybe like 2 years ago, and he came along, so bisexual. I believe the one girl who you mentioned there in that scene, I forget her name in the movie, but she played Storm in X-Men Apocalypse. I believe she is a lesbian. So a lot of this cast and crew were of, all they were either gay, lesbian, bisexual, straight. So it is a diverse in that sense. I knew that going into it. I'm not sure if that will help you with whatever you're about to say. Maybe not.
I don't think that's gonna help me because I think, I'm sure the way he handles himself when he's alone is very honest. My complaint kind of comes down to the school and how the school handles it. At first, it seems like when he came out, everyone was against it and he was getting looked at funny, which I'm sure. Sadly, I'm sure that happens. Didn't come out. Yeah, I know. It was. The buddy told everyone online or whatever with like this weird fictional anonymous website. I think it's fictional. I've never heard of it before.
I assume it would be fictional. Yeah. But there's stuff out there like that.
Yeah. That was another thing that I just thought was weird. But just the way the school reacted to it, and then the way they did a huge 180 to be completely fine with it. I just couldn't decide, is this school really homophobic or are they pro-LGBT? I can't tell. And it was just like, it felt like, okay, so he came out and we have to feel the drama. So everyone's going to look at him weird. And then we want this big happy moment at the end. So let's have everyone cheer for him. It just felt like
not to cut you off, but we're different sides here. So for me, for high school movies, I tend to just think back of what was my experience like, and with knowing gay people in high school and when they have come out or if they were closeted, how people in the school would react, and they were often like, "Fuck this guy."
Okay, sure.
because of their own insecurities.
Yeah,
and
no, I get that.
To me, it's not like they're right away like, oh, fuck this guy, and then this moment comes and like, you know what? Let's be on this team. Is that you have this moment before he goes to this festival, whatever it is, and he has this moment where he goes on this thing and he just writes, of him. I forget the exact thing, but he writes a whole speech about like of coming out should be it's his thing, and nobody should take that away, and this is his life, and so on, so on. And I feel like if you were to read that, if you're somebody who's like, oh, fuck this guy, and you read it and then just kind of have your disconnect of, well, this person's a human too. Because for some reason there are people out there that are homophobic that just think gay people aren't human.
No, I get that.
Whatever.
I get what you're saying.
And if you're rational enough to have the disconnect of all right, I'm not gay, but I'm going to read this person and be like, all right, yeah, this is a person too. What the fuck am I on about? So for me is a reason why it worked for me. And, if it didn't work for you, that sucks. But, I'll let you continue.
Yeah, I mean, I have friends who have come out, and I know of people who have come out, and, I wasn't in their shoes, so I don't know exactly what it was.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure it's different for many people.
Well, yeah,
at my
definitely
school,
gotta be different across
at my
the
school,
board.
maybe we were a little more liberal, but there was minimal to no mockery, at least that I've seen, at least that I saw with these people. But that's not to take away from this movie, because I'm sure it happens. My complaint was just how the school's opinion on him seemed to conveniently switch, like from 0 to 100. But I mean, with the ridicule he gets or the looks he gets at first, I'm not criticizing that, because I'm sure that happens. There was some other stuff, like a lot of the drama felt really forced in this movie. The whole, he had to force the girl to get with that dickhead, and then there was the scene where they're all at like a bus stop or something. They're at the corner of the street, on the side of the street, and then they're all mad at him, like, oh, so you forced me to be with him, I'm not a piece of meat. There was that whole spiel. And I get where the two friends were coming from, their complaints, but then the one girl is actually complaining about something that Simon legitimately believed that the other dude, I forget everyone's name. The Simon's best friend complained to Simon that Simon tried to hook her up with this other guy, even though Simon actually did legitimately believe the other guy liked her, or vice versa, that she liked the other guy. That was it. And I just felt that was like the most ham-fisted drama.
For me, another thing I disagree is that you set up in the cafeteria that, all right, the dickhead has to be with this one girl. Okay, then I forget the names too, whatever. Because if Simon does not help this kid, he's going to out
that's
him.
not what I'm complaining about. That's not.
I know that's not what you're complaining about, but they set it up there where he sees that the two that end up winding up to be together, that they're having this connection. He's like, all right, I got to stop this somehow. Yeah. So he goes to his best friend. Well, not goes to her, but like he's talking to this guy, and he points out about his best friend. Like, oh, well, what about her? She's single. She's into you. And then you go on to that scene of, okay, maybe he genuinely thought that she was into him and just kind of twisted it of, all right, he's into you, of course. Even then,
I'm more thinking of the scene on the
I know that. I know you're talking about the sidewalk scene, but I'm thinking of everything that led up to there.
No.
Is that, to me, I'm like, oh, of course you're gonna be pissed.
Yeah, I think there's a little confusion with what we're arguing about. I think we're arguing about slightly different things. Remember the scene where she's staying over and they're laying on the floor?
Yeah.
And and she's talking about how she feels alone or something to that extent, how she likes someone
and then he
or something.
Genuinely thinks that she's talking about the one guy.
Yeah, like he actually thinks that.
Yeah, which that's what
what bothered me.
Referencing. I was also referencing that.
Okay.
It's just as in a whole, is that he thinks she's into him, but he knows that the guy isn't into her, he's into the girl, but he needs to twist this to where he's not outed by this one guy. So for me, everything leading up to the moment is why I can totally get why she's pissed.
Okay. See, I don't buy it, but I do buy, the one girl that he's trying to hook the dickhead up with. Like, I get where that anger comes from. And then her boyfriend, who you find out, like, they're together now. I get where they're coming from. It's just the best friend. It was like, That bothered me, and maybe I can't defend my point well enough because I'm forgetting the
Well,
details.
and I guess for me to I'll go at you here then. Well, in that scene, for her to be pissed off that he genuinely thought that she was into him, but it goes beyond that. Is that he knew that the other guy was not really that into her, and he just masked it. So either way, he's just treating her as the piece of meat instead of him being, I wanted to hook you up because I thought this. No, he didn't try to hook her up because he thought this. He thought, she's into him, but he knew there was the chemistry between the two others, but he had to twist it. So for me,
I see what you're saying.
Why it worked.
I see what you're saying. Which is, it's fine. It's fine. Whatever.
Well, and which again, this is why I'm saying for me it worked. All film subjective. It's, I'm not gonna hate you for dislike.
A lot of criticism I've seen from this movie is that it's really tame, and it is really tame. A lot of it just made me wish I was watching Call Me by Your Name or Moonlight again.
Well, when you say tame though, do you mean because it's not going full frontal with certain gay things?
No, I think it's just the way it maybe, or just the way. I think this is a trait with most like high school mainstream movies like this, where everyone's super pretty and polished and everything is kind of cutesy and nothing is really, there's never really that much at stake. It's just, but I think that's more of a criticism maybe that I'm thinking of it now with just these kinds of movies. These kind of high school romance movies tend to be, everyone has a great jawline, everyone has very broad shoulders, everyone has perfect skin, and everything's happy and lovey-dovey, and even the sadness and the darkness isn't really that sad or dark. But maybe that's a whole other argument. But I have seen a lot of complaints like that. But I just compared to Moonlight. Moonlight doesn't have like frontal. But
even then,
nudity.
I think Moonlight, to compare it to Moonlight or Call Me by Your Name, totally different movies.
I think that's
the thing with Love,
at,
Simon. It obviously it is a gay story, but it is not solely like. I guess you can say it's solely this, but it's not. It's like it's a different light within it, but it is a high school movie. It doesn't depend on you having to be like, all right, this is Gay Like a Moonlight or Call Me by Your Name. It's a totally different type of movie.
I don't think I was ever against that. Like I think the whole time I was thinking it's just a high school romance movie, but with a gay lead instead of straight lead.
To me it just reminded me of
a
John Hughes movie,
for sure.
Except the lead is a gay man instead of the straight guy. So to me it was just like a John Hughes movie, except the guy's gay.
Ooh, see, I don't think it's John Hughes level, but I totally get what you're saying. I was just mentioning criticisms other people have said, and I kind of agreed with it. But I think that's just a complaint I have with this kind of movie in general. And I don't think, maybe if I was gay and there were hardships to being gay that this movie didn't address to that extent, I could see myself being upset. But because I'm sure that's a thing. Like even not to reference Moonlight again, but it's just like one of the best movies about. It's not just about being gay, but it's one of the better ones about it. It's the brutality in it is far more than what this movie has to offer. But that could also be.
But even then,
those
are also if you do want to take those two movies, for the guy in Moonlight to be gay is much more.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's a culture
Simon,
thing, probably.
It's culturally
definitely
different.
Yeah.
As to where Simon would be more accepted than the guy in Moonlight. The guy's not going to be really that accepted, and of course he's going to get fucked with because of that, which you see in Moonlight.
Yeah.
So to me, it's totally, which it goes into, if it's a straight story, a gay story, whatever story, is that culturally they're all going to be different. They're not all going to be the same. And for me, I guess to wrap this up, for me, a lot of your criticisms worked for me. I loved the movie. I'm still at a 9. I love it. I'll see it again. Probably buy the Blu-ray. I love it.
I could see why. I could see totally why people would enjoy it. There's just things like, just a lot of it felt contrived, and I just wasn't down. I didn't buy a lot of it because I didn't care. It felt very like they were just pulling me on a string, kind of fucking with me. It was all right. It was all right. I guess like that's kind of where I am. Like I think like the ending, like the whole Ferris wheel thing worked really well. I thought that was great. Even the dickhead showing up like I'm blue, I thought that was kind of fun. I thought it was funny. Yeah.
And
then the one guy showing up, I thought I thought that worked really well, and I was happy with that. I was happy with how it ended. And then I was just waiting for that fucking iced coffee shot where there was an extra iced coffee, and then here it is. It happened. And I was like, oh fuck yeah. But you know, it's fine. I'm at like a 4.5 ish. You know,
4.5,
like a light 5 strong 4 kind of thing. So, I mean, look, it's like middle of the road, whatever. I could take it or leave it. I'd rather leave it, but I can take it if you want me to. That's that's about where I'm at.
Yeah, all right. I know we've went a little bit long here. There was something I had thought of when you had mentioned when you texted me like, "Hey, I can't wait to argue about this," which is just if we can not go in it, we can go into it. I don't know if I'm tickling your ass with a feather here or.
I've never heard that expression, but you can tickle my ass all you want.
Okay, well, if I tickle your ass, we'll just leave it here. But well, you know, I'll say this, and I'll only talk 2 minutes. Is that when I've been able to have, like, if we have disagreements, we've been able to talk about it. And, like, when I'm at school or just out places, and people say, like, oh, I didn't like this, I've never, like, I'm not sure if it's because people come at me so aggressive about these things, but I've never had the drive to ever just debate things other than with, if it's, like, someone like you, when we can actually debate things. I'm so used to talking to people that, like, oh, I hated this movie, and then I say this, well, fuck you, this is what, fuck you. And it's like, yo, can we, like, debate this shit? Or, like, we're just gonna have, like, an anger, like, fight here. So I've been so used to, like, not being able to debate, because I've got so used to being like, you know, I just don't even want to talk about this shit, because everybody gets so angry, everybody's got their fucking crazy, not crazy opinions, but their opinions, and it's like, this is my opinion, or fuck you, because my opinion is the greatest thing. So I do have to say, doing this, it is nice to be able to debate than hate, if that sounds ridiculous.
No, I get it.
Yeah. But yeah, that's something I thought of.
Yeah, I guess it's just
I feel like I feel like we debate movies well. I mean, we'll get better the more we do, but I feel like we do it well, and we've done it off when we're not record. But I gotta say, it is nice, and I feel that people should be able to debate film and not be so angry about it, and people should be able to listen to other opinions, whether you agree with it or not. And I feel you know, we got to bring each other together instead of hate each other.
Yeah, I mean, I just enjoy debating in general about everything. I'll pick an argument about anything with anyone. I just, like, not in like a mean way or a way to be different. I just think, like, there's something rewarding about it, you know, not putting yourself in an echo chamber, but just, like, having different thoughts from everyone and hearing other thoughts respectfully. Because, I mean, if you hear other people's opinions and it angers you, then you're just the kind of person, to me, that just wants to hear your opinion back. Yes. And so just someone has to solidify your opinion for you.
Yeah.
But I guess, like, it's just like the people you surround yourself with. There's definitely people out there that would have a discussion about anything respectfully. But, you know, this is definitely a good outlet for conversation, you know, the Jake and Ben show. I'd be curious to get one of these people that are get angry, bring them on here, and we can talk to them, talk some sense into them.
I don't think there's no talking sense. I mean, there could be, but, like, there's a few people in my mind that I think of that you would know that I don't dislike these people. I like these people, but anytime we try to talk about this, we don't talk. It's like, and I don't want to go into this. Is why I've not mentioned this, but, like, okay, The Last Jedi, it came up again last Friday.
Oh God!
And I go to just say one piece, and fucking guy jumps down my throat of why I'm an idiot for liking it. It's the worst thing ever. And
also,
like,
I think it's just like,
oh my God, can we just debate this? And even the first time we did, I was like, yo, come on, you're getting too charged up here. I like passion, but let's debate this. And the guy keeps jumping down my throat.
It's got to be a sign of, like, a weak backbone or something. Like, you have to feel like, for someone like that, like, they have to maybe realize that their argument isn't that strong, or just they don't have much confidence in their argument, so that, you know, loudness and anger makes them sound like they know what they're talking about more, makes their argument more legitimate. That's just how I see it, because I just imagine someone snapping about something like that, who they don't think about their thoughts. They just go at you. As a way that makes their point somehow more legitimate, because they're louder about it, and they're more consistent they're more frequently yelling, you know, bringing it up. I don't know. It's just, it shows to me. I have a bunch of words running around in my head that I'm trying to put into a sentence right now, but
I think you're doing a good job. You're doing a good job.
Okay, good. But
Yeah.
that's just, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to sound like I'm fucking wah.
Also,
Somebody's
in the
yelling,
age of
wah,
the internet,
but,
if you have
yeah.
an opinion and you search your opinion, you can find thousands of people that will legitimize your opinion in your mind, legitimize in air quotes.
Yeah.
So that when you find someone in real life who doesn't hold that opinion, they're not just going to say your opinion back at you. It's like, oh shit, what the fuck is going on here? This person must be wrong. Thousands of people online said I'm right, and I didn't find one person with your opinion. And if I did, it was just a few here and there. But that's because they're going about it all the wrong way. I think that's part of it too. It's so easy to feel like you are correct and everyone else is wrong when you could find all the answers that support your opinion online. Which, I mean, it's not a bad thing. The internet's not a bad thing. Obviously, I'm not complaining about it.
It's not bad, but it can be toxic.
It can be if you go about it the wrong way or if you're an idiot. But yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. I feel like that's, I got my point across and you got it. I didn't want to sound like I'm fucking boo-hoo, but something I was thinking that I feel like it should be. People should talk about it. Like, let's debate film, but let's be, let's debate it. Let's not go like bananas on each other if someone's an idiot for this or somebody's an idiot for that. It's nice to be able to debate film, and I'm looking forward to doing it more.
All right, yeah, me too. But I think that's probably all for...
That is all for today. That's all for this week. And I think it was a good run. We got some passion in there. We got some yucks in there. At least I hope so. And you may have heard a vibration there. That was my phone.
I heard that.
Probably shouldn't have had it there. So
it's fine.
Whoops.
This shit is just so raw. It's uncut. Here we go. I've had Facebook going off and shit. I don't know what's going on, but
yeah, it's thanks for being here. If you like us, continue to support us. Like us, subscribe.
Yeah.
iTunes, Google Play, YouTube. I'll sign out from here and I'll let you plug all your stuff. And see you next week.
Yeah. Okay. I'll finish it here then. Follow us on Twitter, like our Facebook page at Jake and Ben Show. YouTube, Jake and Ben Show. Subscribe to us. We're on Google Play, iTunes. Like Ben said, 5-star ratings helps us a lot on iTunes. If you could leave us a comment or question where we could address next week, that'd be great. We didn't have any this week, but if there's something, I feel like there probably is because we had a passionate discussion this week, and I'm sure you'll want to jump in. Anyways, thank you very much for listening. Thanks to Jackson for the art and the music, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.